He served in World War II in the Army Infantry, and when he got out, he was at the rank of sergeant, and he served in Europe and the Pacific. Were you first drafted or enlisted?
I was drafted.
Where were you living at the time?
On Knott Street here in Wethersfield.
Why did you join?
I just wanted to go. I wanted to go in. I had 3 brothers in already. I said I might as well go too. Yeah.
Did your brothers like it?
Huh?
Did your brothers who were in it like it, and that's why you wanted to do it too?
Yeah, I had a brother that was a Marine. One was in the tank car, and one was in the air car.
Why did you pick the Army when you joined?
I didn't pick it. They drafted me.
Yeah. Okay. And you said that when you were drafted, you went down. Can you tell me that story again?
When I was drafted, my father took me to the railroad station in Hartford. And from there, we got on the train. We went to New Haven, where I was sworn in. And from New Haven, we went to Camp Devens. And there we got our uniforms, and we got all our shots. And then about a week later, we were there about a week, and when we got on the train, we went to Buffalo, New York, pick up some more soldiers, and then we went down south to Camp Wheeler, Georgia. We went through New York, went all through the first time I seen New York and everything. Went right down to Camp Wheeler, Georgia, and I stayed there for, I don't know, for 7 weeks. And then the bulge started. In Europe, the Battle of the Bulge, They were losing a lot of men, so they needed replacements. So they cut our training short, and we got on a ship and we went to Europe, and that's where I met the 86th Infantry Division, where I joined and stayed with them all through the time I was in the service.
What did it feel like when you were first getting into the Army?
It was actually nervous. Everything was hurry up to do this, go here. You know, everything was. It was in a hurry. Everything was in a hurry. It was nerve-wracking too for a while. Yeah.
Do you have any memorable experiences from boot camp or your training?
The boot camp, it was.
Or like an instructor or anything?
We used to go on 20-mile hikes and it was regular training. And I got involved in one incident on account of Willie Pep. You ever heard of Willie Pep?
No.
The world champion boxer.
Oh.
We were at the PX one night, me and a couple other guys, and we went by a bulletin board, and there was a picture of Willie Pep, you know, in his stance with the. So I said, I know who he is. I said, I watch him train in Hartford up on the gym. So nothing else was said. And a couple of days later, we were out in the field. A Jeep came up and they said, Todaro, they want you at headquarters. So I went over there and they brought me to the gym. And when I got there, the guy said, put the gloves on. I put a pair of boxing gloves on. I got in the ring with the guy, and he beat the heck out of me. You know, I never boxed or nothing. Somebody must have heard and thought I was a boxer because I was in the same shape as Willie Pep, the same weight and everything. I said, I never boxed in my life. Get me out of here. So they took me. I went back to the field again. But that was a terrible experience. I got beat up bad then. And not even around. But otherwise, everything was just normal, I guess.
Which wars did you serve in? Was it just World War II, right?
World War II, yeah.
And where exactly did you go?
I went to Europe. I went to Le Havre, France first. And then we went to Stolberg, Germany. And that's where we got a weapon, because they took our weapons away in this country. Over there we picked one up off the field. That's where they came from, off the battlefield. And they gave it to me and I had it zeroed in. And then the next day went up to the front. It was at the Rhine River in a pillbox I was. First they sent me with the 82nd Airborne and they were pulling out, so a couple of days later they transferred me up on the river a little more in another pillbox. That's where I met the 86th Infantry Division. And I was transferred into the anti-tank platoon. And that's where, from there on we went into parts of Germany, into the Ruhr pocket, and right up till the end of the war. I was there when Roosevelt died, in May, I think it was.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then the war ended there.
What were your feelings when you first arrived? Like, how did you feel when you first arrived in Europe?
It was nerve-wracking, you know. We were tense, because we knew the bulge was going on, and there was a lot of casualties, and we were kind of worried about it, but you get used to it after a while.
What was your job or assignment?
When I got to the 86th Division, I was with the anti-tank gun. My job was ammunition carrier and hold down the legs of the gun when it was fired, you know, because it jumped and then that's what my job was.
Did you see combat?
60 days of combat. We were up front. Yeah. Yeah.
Were there many casualties in your unit?
Hmm?
Were there many casualties in your unit?
Quite a few. Yeah, there was quite a few casualties. Yeah.
What are some of your most memorable experiences that you had while you were there?
Well, it was when we had to go. We were called to knock out 88 millimeter German guns. You know, we had to go and get in position, and we knocked out a couple of 88s. I'll never forget that. And then we went look at it, and the gun was all smashed, and there was parts of humans all over the place. You know, it was a mess. It was terrible. We had a few incidents like that where it was not too good.
Did you ever come close to being captured or anything?
Not captured, no. I was shot at, though. We were shot at, and especially with artillery, and we were shot at, yeah, but never captured, though, no.
Were you awarded any medals or citations at all?
I got all the ribbons and everything. Up here, you see, I got the Bronze Star, and all the other ones I got too.
How did you get your ribbons? Were they for anything special you did in the field, or?
Well, the Bronze Star was President Truman gave our whole division the Bronze Star because they thought we were going to go to Japan and a lot of us were going to be killed, you know. So, and we did such a good job in Europe, the young outfit, that he awarded us the Bronze Star.
How did you stay in touch with your family while you were over there?
I wrote when I could, but they didn't get the letters for 2 or 3 months sometime, you know. The mail didn't go through. But I tried to write when I could, you know, but I couldn't write too often.
What was the food like while you were over there?
Well, rations. We had rations most of the time in a box, you know, the C rations and K rations, and once in a while we had a hot meal when we went back from the front for a couple of days. I had one shower when I was over there. It was in a trailer truck, and we had to stay in there just 2 minutes, I remember, to get a shower, and then we had to...
Was it hot water at least?
Yeah, the trailer had hot water in it, yeah. But
that's good. What was your favorite K ration meal that you would have?
I liked one with the cheese. I forgot which one it was with the cheese in it. And every ration had a little pack of cigarettes in it, a pack of 4. Yeah.
Did you have plenty of supplies while you were over there?
We had the rations, and we had ammunition, and yeah.
Did you feel any pressure or stress from being over there and the job you had to do?
Yeah, we had stress, yeah. But we had such good people with us that we were happy most of the time. We joked with each other, you know, but we traveled a lot. Sometimes 15, 20 miles a day we were traveling, taking towns one after the other, you know.
Did you have anything or do anything special for good luck? Do you have like a good luck charm or?
No, I didn't have none of that. I would just pray to God once in a while, you know.
Yeah.
I prayed, but.
Well, what did you and your group do to entertain yourselves while you were on the front?
Try to stay healthy and to protect yourself. That's all we didn't have nothing.
You guys ever play cards or?
No.
No?
Our main thing was smoking. Everybody smoked when I was in there. Even at night, you're not supposed to smoke because they could see it from the air. But we used to smoke in our sleeping bag, you know, or in a building or something. But
What did you do when you were on leave?
From where? We didn't get no leave over there.
It was just straight time, the whole thing?
Yeah, when we were in Europe, we were at the front most of the time, and that was it. We didn't. I did go when I was in Europe. I went to see the Glenn Miller band. You ever hear of Glenn Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were in one town over there. We went to see them. That was one time we went out. Yeah.
How were they?
Good. That was a beautiful band, you know. That was the original band too.
Were there any humorous events or like unusual things that happened while you were over there? Do you remember?
Well, we freed. I know we freed one of those Jewish camps. What do you call it? The concentration camp.
Yep.
We freed one of those.
How were your feelings when you were doing that? Just seeing the concentration camp and
they were all, you know, starving, and a lot of them dead, and it was a terrible smell. Everything. It was a terrible experience.
Was it rewarding just to see them and how they felt when you were coming to rescue them?
Yeah, they were very happy to see us. You know, they were very happy, and we freed them, and they were on their own. A lot of them went to the hospital to be, you know, to recuperate and so forth. Yeah, that was.
Did you guys ever?
A little experience we had, but I can't think of many now. You know.
Yeah. Do you guys ever pull pranks on each other? Or?
No, not really. No, we didn't.
Didn't have time for that?
Well, we had jokes and everything, but it wasn't not too much. Then.
What do you recall of the day your service ended?
I couldn't wait to get home. I couldn't wait to get out. There was things I should have put a claim in for, but I never did. I was so in a hurry. We went to Fort Dex to get out. And I couldn't wait to get, the guy was saying, you got any claims you want to put in for, you know, injuries or stress? And I said, no, I didn't want anything. I just wanted to get out, come home.
Well, where were you when you...
Fort Dix, New Jersey.
Fort Dix, New Jersey?
Yeah.
What did you do in the weeks after you were released?
Well, I hung around for a couple of weeks when I got home, and then I went back to Colts, because I worked for Colts, patent firearms, before I went in for about a year, and so they took me back when I went, and I stayed there, I don't know, about a year or so. Yeah.
Did you go back to school at all?
I went to music school for a while, but it didn't work out, so...
Did you use the government's GI Bill for that?
GI Bill, yeah.
Okay.
Then I went to work on construction as a bricklayer and plaster. Yeah.
Did you make close friendships while you were in the service?
Very, very close friendships. Especially one Bill Ham from Pennsylvania. We kept in contact every 2-3 months. We called each other. He passed away last March. I think he passed away. He was my best friend in the service. Bill Ham, yeah.
Where did you guys serve together?
All over. We went all, when we got to Germany, we stayed through Germany and through the Pacific. We were always together. Yeah.
What did you do for a career after the war? You said you...
The bricklayer.
The bricklayer?
Plaster, yeah.
Huh. Mason.
Yeah.
Did your military experience influence your thinking about war, the military in general?
Yeah, I think it's really changed since then. Today it's altogether different.
In what way do you think?
The wars are fought now in the Congress. They're not fought on the battlefield anymore. The congressmen tell you when to go, and before the generals did it. Now the Congress does it. That's what my feeling toward it.
So you feel that the military was better before, during the World War II era, than it is now?
Yeah, morality and everything was better in the service. Today I hear they don't have the morality or the, you know, it's altogether different today.
Did you join any veterans organizations?
I was a VFW over 50 years, yeah, lifetime member.
Did you attend reunions?
Unions?
Reunions.
I was, reunions?
Yes.
No, I never went to one.
No.
No, there was
How did your service experience affect your life when you look back on it?
Well, I don't know, it gave me discipline. I learned a lot of discipline when I was in the service, you know. Otherwise, that was the big influence, discipline. When you're told to do something, you did it.
Is there anything else you want to say? Any good stories you have or memories of the service that we haven't gone over or covered?
No, just I enjoyed all the people that were in my outfit. They were like family to me. I think of them a lot, especially Bill Ham. We were such good friends. Yeah. And he told me a lot of stories that I had forgotten about, you know, a lot of things we did and that I had forgotten about, but he reminded me of them.
Well, you said you served in the Pacific as well. What kind of stories do you have of the Pacific?
In the Pacific, we were headed for Japan, but seeing that the war in Japan had ended, we ended up in the Philippines, and our job over there was to put up posters up in the mountains all over, so the Japs that didn't know the war was ended would see it, you know. And I went on a few patrols up in the mountains, putting those signs up and see if there was any Japs around or anything, but we didn't.
Did you ever encounter any resistance?
No, not from the Japs up there, no. But there was a lot of communists up in the hills then too. They tried to shoot at us too, but we got away from there. That's the communists, you know.
Yeah. You told me you met some natives in the Philippines while you were there?
Some what?
Some natives?
So, yes, there were some pygmies. They called them niggeritos. They were little people, and they had hardly any clothing on, you know, and they all carried spears and the bows and arrows, and we got a little afraid of them. They surrounded us, and we thought we were going to be done, but one of the soldiers, he showed them some money, and they seemed to, I don't know, get enlightened, and they got friendly after that, and then they were all right. And we didn't have no problem with them. But, oh, and then on the way back, after that patrol, was coming home, it was raining, pouring rain, and I was the Jeep driver, and I tipped the Jeep over. You know, it went around the corner, and there was little pebbles on the road, and it started to turn, and I turned the wheel the other way, and it went up a bank, and it rolled right over.
Wow.
Completely over. It threw me out, and Sergeant Dick Kaiser out, but Sergeant Reed, he got pinned under it. We had to lift the Jeep up to get him out, and then we had to turn the Jeep over, because we were way out in the woods, in the jungle. We turned the Jeep over, the steering wheel was bent, had to straighten the steering wheel out, and the windshield was smashed, but I turned the key and it started, but it smoked, and I drove it 50 miles back to the camp in that condition.
Wow.
But that was something. In fact, Sergeant Reed, he sent me a letter later. He got to put a claim in for his back, and I had to get a notarized letter back to him so he could get his claim. And we kept in contact too. He used to send me Christmas cards. I sent him one. Yeah, and he wrote a book too. You got the book home in your thing.
What was the name of the book?
I don't know if I can't think of it now, but you'll see it. In the cover is my name there. He says, my favorite Jeep driver.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your story today. Thank you.
Okay.